Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to share something that came through really strongly in this reading for Aries, and honestly, the energy around this is so powerful. We're looking at when you step into your leadership power, and I have to say, what came through in these cards is absolutely fascinating. So I just laid out the cards for this reading, and right away I could feel this incredible shift in energy. This is not about someday in the distant future. This is about a transformation that's already beginning to happen for a lot of you. And the universe is really trying to get your attention about this. Let me start by pulling the first card here, and what came through is the Ten of Swords. Now I know what you're thinking, the Ten of Swords doesn't exactly scream leadership and power, right? But here's what's so interesting about this card showing up first. This card is talking about an ending that's been necessary. For so many Aries right now, you've been through something that felt like a complete defeat. Maybe it was a job situation where you felt completely undervalued, or a project that crashed and burned, or a time when you tried to lead something and it just fell apart in ways you couldn't have predicted. But here's the thing about the Ten of Swords in this position. It's not showing up to remind you of the pain. It's showing up to tell you that this cycle is done. Whatever knocked you down, whatever made you question your ability to lead, whatever situation made you feel like maybe you're not cut out for positions of authority, that chapter is closed. The universe had to take you through that experience because you were leading from a place that wasn't authentic to who you really are. You were trying to be the leader you thought you should be, rather than the leader you actually are. I'm getting that for many of you. This painful ending was connected to trying to fit into someone else's version of leadership. Maybe you were in a corporate environment where you had to suppress your natural Aries fire and be more diplomatic than feels natural to you. Or maybe you were in a situation where your bold ideas were constantly shut down, and over time you started doubting your own instincts. The Ten of Swords here is saying that particular version of leadership had to die so that your true leadership power could emerge. What's really significant is that this card is about conscious endings. The person in the card knows it's over, and that's where you are right now. You know that old way of showing up is finished. You can't go back to dimming your light or second-guessing your authority or waiting for permission to step into power. That version of you is done, and honestly, good riddance, because it was never serving your highest potential anyway. Now let's look at the second card, and this is where things start to get really interesting. The World card comes through, and can I just say, the timing of this is perfect. Right after the Ten of Swords, we get the World. Do you see what's happening here? After the ending comes completion, comes mastery, comes the full realization of your potential. The World card is telling me that you've actually been through an entire cycle of learning what leadership means. You've tried different approaches, you've made mistakes, you've watched other leaders and learned from them, both what to do and what not to do. You've been training for this moment even when you didn't realize that's what was happening. Every experience where you felt powerless was actually teaching you how to use power wisely. Every time you watched someone abuse their authority, you were learning the kind of leader you don't want to be. This card is significant because it represents completion before new beginning. You're not starting from scratch here. You're stepping into leadership with wisdom. You understand people because you've been on every side of the power dynamic. You know what it feels like to be overlooked, underestimated, dismissed. And that understanding is going to make you such an effective leader because you'll never forget what it's like to be on the other side. The World is also about recognition on a larger scale. This isn't just about you feeling more confident in yourself. This is about the world recognizing your leadership. I'm seeing opportunities coming that have a broader reach than what you've experienced before. Maybe you've been leading small teams or managing small projects, and you're about to step into something much bigger. Or maybe you haven't been in official leadership positions at all, but that's about to change dramatically. There's also this energy of things coming full circle. Maybe there's someone from your past who dismissed you or overlooked you, and they're going to see you in this new powerful position. Or maybe you're going back to an industry or field you left, but this time you're coming back as the leader, not as someone trying to prove themselves. The World has this beautiful karma energy where everything balances out in the end. Let me pull the third card, and what comes through is Ace of Pentacles. Now this is exciting because we're moving from completion into new tangible beginnings. The Ace of Pentacles is literally a gift from the universe, and in this context, it's about a real, concrete opportunity for you to step into a leadership role. This isn't vague or abstract. This is about an actual position, an actual title, an actual opportunity that's going to be presented to you. For some of you, this could be a job offer for a management or director position. For others, This might be the opportunity to start your own business or venture where you're automatically the leader because you're the founder. For some of you, this could be about being asked to lead a project or initiative that has serious resources behind it. What I love about the Ace of Pentacles is that it represents supported leadership. This isn't about you trying to force something to happen or convince people to take you seriously. This is the universe saying, here's the platform, here are the resources, here's the backing you need. Now step up and do what you were born to do. The Ace of Pentacles is also about long-term security and growth. Whatever leadership opportunity is coming, it's not going to be a flash in the pan. This is something that can build into something substantial. This is the foundation of your empire, honestly. I know that might sound dramatic, but the Ace of Pentacles doesn't show up for small things. This is about planting seeds that are going to grow into something significant. I'm also getting that this opportunity might come through in a way you don't expect. Maybe from a connection you made months or years ago who suddenly remembers you. Or maybe someone recommends you for something you didn't even know existed. The universe is orchestrating this behind the scenes, and when it comes through, it's going to feel both surprising and completely right at the same time. Now the fourth card, and this one is powerful. Seven of Wands comes through, and here's what I need to tell you about this. When you step into your leadership power, you're going to have to defend your position. Not because you don't deserve it, but because that's what happens when you rise. People are going to challenge you. Some will do it because they're jealous. Some will do it because they underestimated you and can't reconcile their old perception with your new reality. Some will challenge you simply to test if you really belong in this position. The Seven of Wands is saying you need to stand your ground. This is not the time to be apologetic about your power. This is not the time to shrink back because someone questions your authority. You're going to have moments where you feel like you're defending yourself constantly, and I want you to understand that this is normal when you're stepping into leadership. Every great leader has faced this. What's important is that the figure in the Seven of Wands is on higher ground. You're not fighting from a place of weakness. You have the advantage. You have the skills, you have the vision, you have what it takes. The challenges coming your way are not going to knock you down. They're going to force you to get even clearer about who you are and what you stand for as a leader. This card is also telling me that your leadership style is not going to be conventional, and that's going to ruffle some feathers. You're an Aries, you're a pioneer, you're going to do things differently. Some people are going to love that about you, and some people are going to resist it hard. The Seven of Wands says, don't you dare water down your vision to make other people comfortable. The whole point is that you're here to do something new. I'm also seeing that some of you might face competition or people who try to undermine you politically. Maybe someone else wanted the position you're getting. Maybe there are people who benefit from the old way of doing things and your leadership threatens that. The Seven of Wands is your reminder that you can handle this. You're a fighter, and you fight best when you're fighting for something you believe in. Let me pull the fifth card now, and what comes through is Five of Cups. Now this is interesting because we're in the middle of this reading about stepping into power, and suddenly we get this card of grief and loss. Here's what this is about. When you step into your leadership power, you're going to have to let go of some things, and that's going to hurt more than you expect. The Five of Cups is showing me that you might lose some relationships in this process. Not everyone is going to celebrate your rise. Some people in your life right now are comfortable with you at your current level, and when you step into more power, it's going to change the dynamic. Some friendships might fall away. Some people might distance themselves because your success makes them uncomfortable about their own lives. There's also grief about the person you used to be. The version of you who was unsure, who needed approval, who played small to fit in, that person has to be left behind. And even though you know logically that this is growth, there's still going to be moments where you miss the simplicity of not being in charge, of not having all eyes on you, of not carrying the responsibility. The Five of Cups is also about focusing on what you've lost instead of what you still have. And I think the message here is that yes, you're going to lose some things on this journey, but don't get so focused on those losses that you miss the incredible gifts right in front of you. Those three cups still standing? They represent the people who do support you, the opportunities that are working out, the parts of yourself that are stronger than ever. I'm getting that some of you are already feeling this grief. Maybe you've already noticed some relationships changing as you've started owning your power more. Maybe you're already feeling the weight of responsibility settling on your shoulders. The Five of Cups validates that it's okay to feel sad about what's changing, but don't let that sadness stop you from moving forward. Now the sixth card, Eight of Pentacles. After that moment of grief, we get right back to work. And that's so perfect because that's what leaders do. They feel their feelings, and then they get back to mastering their craft. The Eight of Pentacles is about dedication, about putting in the work, about constantly improving your skills. This card is telling me that your leadership power isn't just going to come from natural charisma or confidence. It's going to come from the fact that you are genuinely skilled at what you do. You're not going to be one of those leaders who got their position through politics or connections and then don't actually know what they're doing. You're going to be someone who earns respect through your competence. The Eight of Pentacles shows someone who's completely focused on their work, perfecting each piece. That's you. You're going into this leadership role with the attitude that you always have more to learn. You're not going to rest on your laurels. You're going to keep developing your skills, keep learning new approaches, keep getting better at your craft. What I love about this card in this reading is that it shows you're taking this seriously. You're not going to wing it. You're going to prepare, you're going to study, you're going to practice. If there are skills you need to develop to be the leader you want to be, you're going to develop them. If there's knowledge you need to acquire, you're going to acquire it. You're approaching leadership as a craft, not just a title. This card also suggests that you might go through some kind of training or development program as you step into this role. Maybe formal leadership training, maybe working with a mentor or coach, maybe just dedicating yourself to learning everything you can about your industry or field. The Eight of Pentacles says that this dedication to mastery is what's going to set you apart from other leaders. Let's look at the seventh card, Ten of Pentacles. Now we're talking about the legacy you're going to build as a leader. The Ten of Pentacles is not just about personal success. It's about creating something that lasts, something that benefits others, something that has lasting impact. This card is showing me that your leadership is going to create stability and abundance not just for you, but for everyone in your sphere of influence. The people who work under you are going to thrive. The projects you lead are going to succeed in ways that create opportunities for multiple people. You're going to be the kind of leader who lifts others up, who creates pathways for people to succeed. The Ten of Pentacles has this multi-generational energy. It's about building something that outlasts you. So whatever you create in this leadership role, whatever changes you make, whatever systems you put in place, they're going to have ripple effects that continue long after you've moved on to other things. You're not just managing, you're not just overseeing, you're building something substantial. I'm also getting that some of you might be stepping into a family business or taking over something that has history and tradition. The Ten of Pentacles can represent inheritance of responsibility. Maybe you're the one who's being trusted to carry forward something important, to honor what came before, while also making it your own. There's also this energy of finally achieving the financial stability and security you've been working toward. Leadership positions come with better compensation, and the Ten of Pentacles says you're going to reach a level where you're not worried about money anymore. You're going to be able to provide well for yourself and others, and that security is going to give you even more freedom to lead boldly. Now, the eighth card, Ace of Swords. This is about the clarity of vision you're going to have as a leader. The Ace of Swords cuts through all the confusion and gets straight to the truth. You're going to be the kind of leader who sees situations clearly, who can cut through the politics and the drama and get to the heart of what really matters. This card represents breakthrough thinking. You're going to have ideas and insights that others miss. You're going to see solutions to problems that have stumped everyone else. Your mind is going to be sharp, focused, operating at a really high level. The Ace of Swords is about mental power, and that's a huge part of leadership. What's interesting about this card is that it's also about communication. You're going to find your voice as a leader. You're going to be able to articulate your vision in ways that inspire others to follow you. You're going to speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. The Ace of Swords doesn't sugarcoat or beat around the bush, and neither will you. I'm getting that your communication style as a leader is going to be direct and honest. And while that might intimidate some people, it's going to earn you massive respect. People are going to know that when you say something, you mean it. When you make a commitment, you follow through. When you identify a problem, you're already thinking about solutions. The Ace of Swords can also represent legal contracts or official agreements. Some of you might be signing contracts related to your leadership position. Maybe employment contracts, maybe partnership agreements, maybe legal documents that formalize your authority and responsibilities. Whatever it is, make sure you read everything carefully because the Ace of Swords says the details matter. Let's pull the ninth card, the Hierophant. Now this is really significant because the Hierophant is the card of traditional leadership and authority. This is about stepping into an established role, about being given official recognition, about operating within structures and systems. The Hierophant is telling me that your leadership is going to have a teaching component. You're not just going to lead by directing, you're going to lead by educating and mentoring. You're going to be someone who passes down knowledge, who develops other leaders, who creates a culture of learning and growth. The Hierophant is the master teacher, and that's one of your roles. This card also represents institutional power. You're going to be part of something bigger than yourself. Maybe a corporation, maybe an organization, maybe an industry. But you're going to have authority that comes from being part of an established structure. And you're going to know how to work within that structure while still bringing your unique vision. What's interesting is that the Hierophant can represent being a bridge between old and new. You're going to honor tradition and established best practices, but you're also going to bring innovation. You're going to respect what's worked in the past, while also being willing to challenge what's not working anymore. That's a really sophisticated kind of leadership, and it's exactly what's needed right now. I'm also getting that some of you might step into a role where you're representing others or speaking on behalf of a group. The Hierophant has this spokesperson energy. Maybe you're going to be the public face of an organization, or the person who presents to boards or clients, or the one who sets the vision and values that everyone else follows. Finally, let me pull the 10th card, and what comes through is Queen of Pentacles. This is perfect as the final card because the Queen of Pentacles represents mature, grounded, practical leadership. This is you fully embodied in your leadership power, completely comfortable with your authority, leading with both strength and nurturing energy. The Queen of Pentacles is the most successful of all the queens because she knows how to manage resources wisely. She creates abundance not through taking risks, but through careful planning and smart decisions. That's the kind of leader you're becoming. You're going to be strategic, you're going to be practical, you're going to make decisions based on what actually works, not what sounds good in theory. This queen also represents someone who takes care of the people in their domain. You're going to be the kind of leader who remembers that your success depends on your team's success. You're going to invest in people, develop them, make sure they have what they need to thrive. You're not going to be a leader who's only concerned with your own advancement. What I love about the Queen of Pentacles as the outcome is that she's comfortable in her power. She's not proving anything to anyone. She knows her worth. She's secure in her position. That's where you're headed. You're moving from the uncertainty and grief of the earlier cards to this place of absolute confidence and capability. The Queen of Pentacles also represents material success and comfort. You're going to reach a point where you're enjoying the fruits of your leadership. Good income, nice surroundings, the ability to create beauty in your life. But you're not going to be obsessed with material things. You're going to have a healthy relationship with money and success where you enjoy what you have, but you're not defined by it. I'm also getting that the Queen of Pentacles represents someone who leads by example. You're going to demonstrate the work ethic, the integrity, the balance that you want to see in others. You're not going to ask your team to do anything you wouldn't do yourself. That's going to earn you so much loyalty and respect. So let me bring this all together, because the story these cards are telling is so clear. You're at this threshold moment where the old version of leadership, the one that never quite fit you, is completely done. You've completed a major cycle of learning and growth. Now the universe is presenting you with real, tangible opportunities to step into authentic leadership roles. Yes, you're going to face challenges. Yes, you're going to have to defend your position and your vision. Yes, you're going to lose some things along the way, and that's going to hurt. But you're also going to dedicate yourself to mastering your craft, to building something of lasting value, to leading with both brilliance and practicality. You're going to find your voice as a leader. You're going to teach and mentor others. And ultimately, you're going to become this grounded, confident, successful leader who creates abundance for yourself and everyone around you. For those of you who've been wondering when your time is coming, this reading is saying it's now. The pieces are already moving into place. Stay alert for the opportunities showing up in the next few weeks and months. When that Ace of Pentacles offer comes through, don't hesitate. You're ready for this. And remember, leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic, being dedicated, and being willing to grow. You've got all of that in spades. This is your time to shine, Aries. Step into your power without apology. That's what I have for you today. I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, Let me know in the comments what part spoke to you most. Until next time, trust your journey.